Look at this tiny cherry cake. I love those little cherries on top. And if you'd like a printable version to keep for later, you can find the full written pattern in my Etsy shop. For this project, I'll be using a 3.0mm crochet hook and some light worsted or DK weight yarn. Alright, let's get started together. Let's start with the cake body. Begin with a magic ring. Go ahead and make 8 single crochets into the ring. Start with a turning chain here. This chain won't count as a stitch. Place a marker in that first stitch. Gently pull the ring closed. Remove the marker. Slip stitch into the first stitch to join. And that's round 1 done. For round 2, start with a turning chain. Place the marker back into the first stitch. Make an increase in each stitch around. Remove the marker and join with a slip stitch. And that's round 2 finished. You should have 16 stitches now. For round 3, start with a turning chain. Place the marker in the first stitch. 1 single crochet here. Then an increase in the next stitch. We'll repeat that all the way around. Remove the marker and join with a slip stitch. And that's round 3 done. You should have 24 stitches. It's already starting to take shape now. From here on, we'll start each round with a turning chain, and finish with a slip stitch join. Now we're on round 4. We'll work 3 single crochets here. Nice and steady. Then make an increase, right in the next stitch. We'll repeat that all the way around. And that's round 4 done. You should have 30 stitches now. Moving into round 5. Two single crochets. Then an increase. And 2 more single crochets. Repeat that sequence 6 times around. And that's round 5 finished. You should have 36 stitches. For round 6, we'll work in the back loops only. That's the back loop right here, the one furthest away from us. Make 36 single crochets around. and that finishes round 6. Still 36 stitches. You can already see the cup taking shape now. From here, we'll work 5 rounds with no increases or decreases, starting round 7. Just 36 single crochets each round. I'll let this part run a little quicker, just crochet at your own pace. We're coming up to round 11 now, and we'll get ready to change colors. Pull up a longer loop in the last stitch. Then stop at the unfinished single crochet and switch colors through those 2 loops. Bring the new yarn through and slip stitch into the first stitch. We'll use this same color change whenever we need it. And that's round 11 complete. Now we're on round 12. Work in the back loops only. Make 36 single crochets around. And that's round 12 done. You should still have 36 stitches. From here, we'll keep the same stitch count for 3 rounds. Just 36 single crochets around. Just take your time here and crochet at your own pace. And that's round 13 finished. Still 36 stitches. The next few rounds follow the same pattern. I'll let this part run a little quicker. Just follow along at your own pace here. I'll meet you at the end of the round. And that's round 15 done. Moving into round 16. We'll work 2 single crochets here, then make a decrease. For the decrease, we're bringing 2 stitches together. Start an unfinished single crochet in the first stitch, then another unfinished single crochet in the next stitch. Keep both loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And that's our decrease. Make 2 more single crochets. We'll repeat that all the way around. Same rhythm here, just keep going at your own pace. And that's round 16 complete. You should have 30 stitches now. Now we're on round 17. We'll work 3 single crochets, then 1 decrease. We'll repeat that 6 times around. And that's round 17 done. You should have 24 stitches. Next we'll move into round 18 and work in the back loops only. We'll work 1 single crochet, then 1 decrease, and another single crochet. Repeat that 6 times around. And that's round 18 complete. You should have 18 stitches now. Now's a good time to add some stuffing. Switch back to color 3 and move into round 19. 1 single crochet. Then 1 decrease. Repeat that 6 times around. Join with a slip stitch and leave a long yarn tail for closing. Bring the yarn through and thread your needle. And that's round 19 complete. You should have 12 stitches left. Use the yarn tail to go through the front loops and pull it closed, stitch by stitch. And that's the main body finished. It's looking really cute now. Next, we'll make the little cream border on top. Make a turning chain. This won't count as a stitch. Then make 1 single crochet in the same stitch. Chain 3. Work back into the second chain with 1 slip stitch. Then make 2 half double crochets here. Skip 2 stitches on the body. Then make 2 single crochets. That's the repeat for this section. We'll work it all the way around. For the last repeat, we'll make 1 less single crochet, then join to the first stitch. Chain 1, cut the yarn, and leave a tail for weaving in. Weave the yarn tail into the white section and secure the cream border with a little glue. And that part is finished. Next, we'll make the cream border around the side of the cup. Bring the yarn through. Chain 2. In the same stitch, we'll make 4 unfinished half double crochets. Repeat that 4 times. Then pull through all the loops on your hook. Skip 1 stitch and slip stitch into the next. That's the repeat for this section. Just take your time and crochet at your own pace. I'll let this part run a little quicker. Join to the first stitch with a slip stitch. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Weave both yarn tails into the white section. And the cream border is all finished. And we're all finished. Let's start by making our little cherries. We'll start with a magic ring here, and work 6 single crochets into it to get started. When you've finished the 6 single crochets, gently pull the ring closed. Remove the stitch marker and join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. And that's the end of round 1. You should have 6 stitches. Round 2. Let's work 1 single crochet right here. Followed by an increase. Keep repeating that around. And that's round 2 finished. You should have 9 stitches. For rounds 3 and 4, we're simply making 9 single crochets in each round. Round 3. Each round starts with a turning chain, and I don't count it as a stitch. I like to place a stitch marker in the first stitch here. It just makes it easier to keep track of where the round begins. Round 3 is complete, still 9 stitches. Nothing changes for this round, so just keep the same pace. And round 4 is finished, with 9 stitches. Round 5. Let's work 1 single crochet right here. Then 1 decrease. For this decrease, we'll work through the front loops only. And join those 2 front loops together. Keep repeating that around. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. Leave a longer yarn tail for sewing and closing. There we go, our first little cherry is done, using the same method. Go ahead and make a second one the same way. Now let's move on to the leaf. Start by making 6 chains. The starting knot doesn't count as a stitch. Chain 1. Chain 2. Just keep going until you have all 6 chains. Until you have 6 chains, work back into the second chain. From the hook, make 1 slip stitch first. Then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Make a half double crochet in the next stitch, yarn over. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. That's 1 half double crochet. Make another half double crochet in the next stitch. In the last stitch, let's work 1 single crochet right here. And another single crochet in the same stitch. Chain 1. Now we'll make a picot stitch. Go back into the stitch just below. Pull up a loop. Catch the back loop, and pull through the front loop. That's our picot stitch. Make another single crochet in the same stitch. Half double crochet in the next stitch. And another half double crochet. Single crochet in the next stitch. In the last stitch, make 1 slip stitch. Then slip stitch into the first stitch on the opposite side. Chain 1 and cut the yarn. Pull it tight. Trim away the extra yarn. And our little leaf is ready to go. Prepare a piece of wire about 6 inches long and wrap it with green yarn. Once it's wrapped, fold it in half. Pinch the top together. For the leaf, trim the yarn tail a little shorter. Just leave enough for the stem. Continue wrapping. Add a small amount of glue here, and secure the yarn end in place. Once it's wrapped, set it aside for now. Now comes the fun part. Let's put everything together. Go ahead and add a little stuffing here. Then insert the stem into the cherry body. You can make the stem a little longer or shorter if you'd like. Add a little more stuffing. Once you're happy with it, close the opening through the front loops. Pull it tight. Bring the yarn through the cherry and weave in the end. And that's one cherry finished. Make the second one the same way and attach it to the stem. And just like that, our cherries are assembled. Once both the cherries and cake have been completed, glue the cherries onto the top of the cake. And just like that, our little cherry cake is finished. I hope you enjoyed making this little project with me. Thank you for spending some time crocheting with me today. Happy crocheting!